Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how to do the laughing tikis. They look like they're laughing to me, so I named them laughing tikis. You can see kind of like there's like their eyes and their mouth. Here's another example of it. Okay, so this is a fairly simple bracelet, which I know the tiki patterns can be a little bit challenging for some people. It's been challenging for me sometimes, but this one's fairly easy. I got it on the first try. So you're going to need 12 strands, 3 colors. You're going to need 8 strings of a color you don't really like. These are going to be your base strings, which they don't have to be long. Just probably long enough to fit your wrist and some to tie on. And they may show a little bit in the corners, like you can kind of see a little bit of pink there. That was my base color for this one. But other than that, you can't see them. So if you want to make them a color that matches, that's fine. If not, you don't have to. And then your working strands, which for me is going to be yellow and red, you need 2 strings of each color. So I have 2 red and 2 yellow. Make these much longer than you do this one, because these are gonna be the strings that you make all the knots with. So you need to make these long. I don't know how long. I usually don't measure them. I just kind of wing it. So, but just make them long. Better to have too much than too little. Okay. So you need to set your strings up as sort of like a chevron. So red, yellow, yellow, red, and then your browns are on the side. Which, whatever color you put in the middle is going to be the mouth, the outside of the mouth. Whichever color you put on the outside is going to be the eyes. So I'm going to do yellow for my outside. So you need to do an inverse chevron. So you tie a knot in the middle. Tie a knot in the middle, and then do your forward knots. Which you need to do 4 forward knots. I usually don't really count them, I can kind of just usually look, but it's 4. And then you need to do 1 forward backward. And that's, so now the string, you should have a brown on the outside. Repeat that on the other side, but with backward knots. Which I personally really hate inverse chevrons. I don't know why. I just find them more difficult than normal chevrons. These strings are all tangled up. There we go. And then now a backward forward. Okay, so now you need to do the inside of the mouth. So you're going to need, you can put your outer 2 strands away, I believe. I don't know. Yeah, I know what to do, but make a forward knot with your red. do a forward knot, then a forward backward. So you should have a total of 3 knots there. And then repeat with the other side, just with the opposite knots. So you need to do 1 backward, and 1 backward forward. So now you should have a mini chevron. Now you need to bring the chevron together. So take your right strand on the left and do a forward knot. And then take your other red strand and do a backward knot. And then join them. So now you should have the little mouth. And now take your yellow strands and bring them back to the middle. And what I mean by that is do a chevron. So essentially with this, you should have a diamond with a diamond inside of it. And take your other strand and do backward knots. Okay, now this is the tricky part. Put your from your yellow strand to the rest of them to the side. So now you should just have a red strand and 4 brown strings. Ignore the rabbits. Which, this is where you have to do the eyes. Now this is going to be just one. You need to do this all as just one continuous thing. That's the easiest. It's going to look like a little M. Okay. Now they're stomping. Okay. Take your red strand and do 3 forward knots. And then do a forward backward. So now you should have 4 knots, and the order of your strings should be brown, 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 red, brown. Move that 1 brown to the side, and now do 2 backward knots. This is all using still the red strand. And then do a backward forward. Now, do 2 forward knots. And then a forward backward. Sorry, I had to I'm trying to get Beefcake to be quiet. Okay, so now you've done like an N. Put those aside, take the other side, and you're going to do the exact same thing, but just opposite. So you need to do 3 backward knots. And then backward forward. Now do 2 forward knots. And a forward backward. And now 2 backward knots again. And backward forward. I had to think about what the knot was called. Okay, now you need to bring back your yellow strands. And 1 brown strand from each side. So you should have a total of 4 strings, with your yellow still in the middle. Now you already have your yellows joined, so now do a forward knot, forward backward with your right yellow string. So now it should be backward started, and then do a backward forward with the other yellow string. Now it should be backward started, and then join them. So you just made a little diamond. Now go back to your red strings and do 3 forward knots with your one on the left. So 1, 2, 3. And do the same with the other side, but with backward knots. And that's it. Yes, the pattern, you have to do the diamond, the mouth first. So once you do another mouth, then you'll get the face. So right now, you basically just have that. But once you do another one, then you got the face. Alright, so I'm going to post this on friendshipbracelets.net as usual. And thanks for watching.